Good afternoon and welcome to our afternoon class. So, in the previous class, we looked at uh, the itinerary planning and we looked at the elements of a tour and what they are. We looked at attractions, we saw what amenities are, we saw accessibility, we saw activities that people do, making the five tour components. And now we are going to look at how to develop an itinerary. So first of all, we begin with an introduction of what an itinerary is, as we had said in our previous class, that it is a roadmap for an organized journey, the journey that the tourist will take. It's just a layout of the activities that we are supposed to take or a tourist is to be undertaken through during an organized journey. And one thing that comes out clearly is that we have short itineraries, those that last for 1 day or 24 hours, that we call excursions, while those that are longer than 24 hours are referred to as tours. So, planning a tour involves going by the client's wishes or suggestions. The client is the most important person of this tour, so we have to consider what they want and the wishes that they have before we plan for the tour. So, where do we get the information we need when you're developing an itinerary? We have to look at brochures that exist in the market. We have the hotel lodge tariffs. These are charges that hotels have in place for their accommodation or activities or facilities. And then we also have information through familiarization tours, whereby the travel agent or the tour operator goes to see what the place or the accommodation or the attraction, how it looks, to be able to get information of what to plan. We also look at films, the wildlife or cultural films that talk about tourism. And then we also get information by sharing ideas with the tour experts, for example, tour guides or driver guides. Then we're looking at the points that we want to establish prior to developing the itinerary. This is whereby you talk to the customer prior to it, maybe on phone, through emails, face to face. You have to come up with what they need. And now these are the points that you should establish in the initial interview that you do with the guest. So you have to look at the motivation, what motivates them to travel, what motivates them to go out, what they need. We also have those that want to go for rest. Maybe they want the sun, they want the beach, they want sports. Those that want to go for hunting or for safari. Those are the motivation behind one traveling. We also look at the number of participants. In other words, we call it packs, because we know that we have the individual tours and we have group tours. And the group tours influence the choice of transport. What are we going to use to transport people? Are we using vans? Are we using the big buses? What type of transport should we select? Are they going by air? Are they going on road? Also, the hotels and the restaurants, in terms of the number of rooms to reserve and the facilities that they expect to find. So, the number of participants is an important aspect when developing an itinerary. You also look at the dates and the length of the trip. How long it's going to last? Is it a day? Is it 2 days? Is it 3 days? And you also look at the age of the traveler and the energy they have, in terms of, are they able to endure activities? Are they able to feel value for money? Or we should reduce the activities so that they don't get too tired, especially when dealing with the old people. So looking also at the speed in terms of how fast the activities will be planned and the comfort of the traveler as they enjoy the tour. The other point we look at is the objectives. What do we intend to achieve? Is it adventure? Is it those that want to go to eco lodges or to destinations that are protected areas? So, what is the objective of the tour? Is it relaxation? Is it adventure? Is it to look at maybe farms or the places that they want to. Are they going to experience the culture? What is the motive behind them traveling? So that is the objective. What do they intend to achieve at the end of it? The other point is budget, how much the client is able to pay or to spend. We call it the disposable income, how much they're having in the pocket to be able to spend on a trip, and then the services that they expect to receive uh, as they travel with us or as they travel on a tour. So it also focuses on the services they expect to have, and it should be part of the price they are paying. So depending on the type of client you're dealing with, you are looking at if they are rich or the middle class or the poor. Depends on the type of the traveler. So we have to look at the budget, how much they are willing to spend. We also have hotel requirements. There are those who want to stay at five-star hotels, those that want to stay at four-star. There are those who just want a simple place. So it depends also with the accommodation that the customer requires. If they need a double room, if it's a family room, are they apartments, are they bungalows? So it depends on the requirement of the hotel as per the client. We also look at transport. Transport meaning the means that we're going to use. Are we using vehicles? Are we using boats? Are we using choppers or the chartered flights? The equipment to be used and the carriers, how comfortable will the client be as they travel with us. And then we have miscellaneous. These are the other things that we should look into, like visas, vaccination requirement, deposit payments, the final payments, cancellation, refund, and insurance. These are things that we must discuss with with the customer prior to them are receiving an itinerary that is custom made. It's custom made for the client. So we have to consider all those important factors before we develop one. So what is the content? What does it contain? So we have the attractions where the person is headed to, what they are going to see at a destination, maybe man-made, maybe natural. Those are the attractions that they are supposed to go and see. We also have the transfers. Transfers is important because you have to pick your clients from the airport to the hotel or to the destination they are going. So we must see a transfer element coming in. We also look at distances to be covered from one destination to another. It's important to really bring it out so that we see if it is making sense and also if it goes in line with the transport means chosen for the particular journey. We also look at accommodation is an important content of the itinerary because they have to rest at the end of the day from the journey. They'll be tired. So, what accommodation are there? And we really name the accommodation places that they sleep in for the meals also. What meal plans are they in? Are they on half board? Are they on full board? Are they on bed and breakfast or on bed only, depending on the type of accommodation that the client requested to have. We also look at the transport. Are they using vehicles? Are they using a flight? Depending on the distances to be covered from one place to another and the circuit that the tourist wants to visit. We also include the activities. What are they going to do? For example, if it is for adventure tourists, they want activities such as hiking, mountain climbing, they want bungee jumping, or zip lining. These activities that are supposed to be clearly seen in an itinerary. And then we also have the destination. Where are you headed to? So it must be flowing. You must see where you're coming from and where you're headed in terms of the start point and the finish point. We want to see where you began the journey and where it ends. After last day's activities, they are now either transferring to the airport to go back to their country or going back to a hotel to rest after the day so that they travel the following morning. So I have an example here of a one-day excursion. We said short itineraries that last for 24 hours or less. We call them excursions. So we have one here of a traveler who's having a small itinerary for Nairobi. They're going for example, a city tour. So we have the attractions. You can see we have Bomas of Kenya, the time allocated, telling us what it is a collection of villages, performance of the dance, traditional dances, and the kilometers, like how much the distance from Nairobi city to the destination. And then the next attraction or the next place we are going to is the Karen Blixen Museum, a museum that exhibits the life and work of the former Danish actress Karen von Blixen, held 18 kilometers from the city center towards Ngong town. So we have to tell a person where they are headed to. And then we have the Ryuki Cultural Center, a Kikuyu homestead with the villages uh, that showcases the culture of the Gikuyu in Kenya. We also have the other place where we headed to is the Kedong Valley or the Mayor's Farms, whereby we have a farm down the Kikuyu escarpment that performs the traditional Samburu and Maasai dances 60 kilometers away from the Nairobi town. And then we have Ologisaile, a prehistoric site that exhibits the hand axe and the animal bones dating about 5 million years ago, part of the fossils that were found, and it is managed by the Kenya National Museum. We also have Arboretum, a place where you can go for nature walks, bird watching, consisting of tropical trees and tree species located on the Arboretum Road next to State House. It's 3.5 kilometers from the city center, so they can either walk or can take a vehicle. They can hire a vehicle to the place. And then we have the Uhuru National Monument along Langata Road, a collection of the monuments for both the social and political achievements after independence, and it has a free entry. So this is an example of an itinerary that one can come up with for a one-day excursion or a city tour. Thank you.